Do you ever think about the example you're setting to your children, to your teen or to your young adult? They very much copy so much of what they observe from us. Today, we're going to talk about maybe some of those ways that from your behavior, you're setting an example to them that perhaps you didn't think about. I'm also going to give you some great ideas on how you can make the changes you want to make to be that role model for your children that you're absolutely proud of. I'm Ian Hawkins, and this is Sport is Life. The purpose of sport, as I see it, is to see your vision become a reality, find your voice, create strong connections, and learn to trust your body. From the very earliest age for our children, it's very much monkey see, monkey do. They are far more likely to copy what you do than copy what you say. I can vividly remember sitting and watching my daughter, I think it was, playing with a doll's house and just watching the interactions between the parents and the adults and hearing and seeing a whole lot of things that I really didn't enjoy hearing and seeing. The behaviours, the language, just copying straight out. And this continues, and it's equally important in their teenage years because they're still observing. They're observing from a more mature place, and they're also observing from that place of having influence from peers now. So even more important to be that role model of how you want them to grow up. And it's not about long lectures and trying to control them, because they start to learn that you can't control them. You can't stop what they're going to do. And if they're feeling off, that's not always because of you. So we go too quickly to dive in and want to fix and worry that we're doing something wrong. Sometimes they've just got things going on. And that's not to say that you blindly leave them to their own devices. The most important two things is being that role model, and two, being a really good listener, so that when they've got something important to say, that they want to say it. It's probably for another episode, but I will add there that it's listening without judgment, without instructions, without directing, without control. I'm talking about teenage years now, but instead just listening. Because if you do that, they're more likely to open up. If they feel like you're defending other people, if you're always trying to give suggestions, you're not really listening unconditionally, then they'll shut up. And I know it because I've seen both sides. My children both will now talk to me, but there was a time there where they didn't, because I was doing all those things that I just talked about, making all those mistakes. Let's get back to what I wanted to talk about, which is being that role model. They're absorbing every one of your behaviors, the good, the bad, everything in between. They're observing and they're absorbing. But the good news is they will also do the same with your good behavior. So this is not to say you're doing everything wrong. You're doing so many things right. You're doing so many things right as a sports parent. But of course, you're going to do things that you don't really want to be doing, because you're your own harshest critic. You're already being harsh on yourself for some of those different ways that you react or just carry yourself. And when I was on my run on, what day is it today? On Monday, I was watching one of the other mums going for a walk, looking fit, looking well. I'm thinking, cool, that's a really good role model. Now, I don't know what else is going on in that mum's life, but I know that from that perspective, she was putting in what she wanted for herself. And again, what a great trait to then instill in your children from what they'll observe. So looking after your physical health. Do you exercise regularly? Are you also not looking after your nutrition? Do you not eat so well? Maybe drinking too much? All of those different things. Now, I enjoy beer like anyone else. It's just remembering that they're observing your behavior. Like how much, when, how often, how does your behavior change? All of those different things. Nutrition is so important, but they're also observing things like boundaries. Do you stand up for yourself when you need to stand up for yourself? Are you too easy to roll over and you're an easy mark and people take advantage of that? Are you giving to everyone else, but you're not looking after your own backyard. You're not looking after yourself properly. When you do react, because we all do, we all have emotional reactions, are you able to be calm? Do you sometimes be too quick to temper? Do you overreact at times? Do you react over the top to them at times? Maybe you give the silent treatment, you just switch off altogether, because they're also observing your relationship with your partner too. How are you reacting to that? They're modeling this behavior. Now, sometimes their focus is, I don't want to be like my parent. So they'll either go to the other extreme, which is not necessarily healthy either, or they, because their focus is on not repeating, they just repeat. Our subconscious brain doesn't understand the difference between the yes or the no. It's just a topic. It's just a reference point. That's why we often repeat the patterns of our parents that we didn't particularly love, because we try so hard to get away from them instead of setting a path to where we really want to go. So what are the other sorts of things that you're doing? Like, do you show up confidently? Or is it clear that you've got different things that, you're not able to show that confidence? You want them to be confident, but are you being confident? You want them to not be anxious, but are you being anxious? And the best thing you can do, like I said, is if you work on yourself and you start making the changes, they'll see that too. I've said it from both my children. We started from a pretty low base. Like we're making heaps of mistakes. We're both working in corporate jobs, working ourselves to an absolute standstill. Crazy hours, both of us. We miss things. Big things that could have ended in absolute tragedy. And honestly, I feel like we got lucky, because it could have gone a whole lot worse. But they now actively seek out help. They have counseling, psychologists, kinesiologists, all these different things, because they know the benefit. They're not sitting there in silence. Some of those other observations. Are you wanting them to be more focused, but you're getting stuck on your phone? Are you being distracted? Are you procrastinating? Are you overworking? That's what I was doing. I see those traits in my children at times. Really hard workers. Great, but are you getting the balance right? Are you going too far? Pardon me. Are you on the verge of burnout, which I see a lot, which I've been to myself. When I left corporate at the end of 2017, I was completely burnt out. And I've experienced it again in business, where I've pushed myself too far. So are you standing up yourself? What's happening in your relationship? All of these things. Now, like I said before, more often than not, our focus is, I don't want to do that. What do we want to avoid? And we repeat it, and our children do the same. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is having a really clear plan of where you want to go, of what you actually do want. And if you're not sure what that is, look at what you don't want, what you've already got that you don't like, and look at the opposite. Putting together a game plan, putting together the key steps that you know are going to work, having the strategies that are going to keep you on track, keep you committed, keep that desire high, so you can manage your time, so you have focus, so you can be stronger. Like, they're all of the things that are going to get you back heading in the right direction. Now, imagine having a process that will help your child, or your young adult, your teen, find direction in their life. Imagine if that process could help you map out the rest of your life as well, especially for those days when you're feeling disillusioned with your career, with your health, with your overall lot in life. Imagine being able to sit down together with your teen and do this work, inspiring each other as you go. Imagine the difference that would make in your child's happiness, being able to do something like that together. Their motivation levels, their confidence, and to yours. Have that connection, to have all of those things in place for both of your futures. So this is what the game plan training is. It's a game plan for your life, not just for tomorrow, but for every day. Now, there's a degree of flexibility in that. This is not setting a game plan in place that you have to play out every day. Sport and life is not like that. You need to be adaptable, but you need to have a game plan that you start with, something to work towards, something that gives you that clarity, that certainty, that confidence in any given moment. So I'm going to drop the details in the show notes. Jump on and have a look. If this is something you know you need and you'd love to be able to give to your children, jump in. Love to see you in there. You've taken the time to listen to this whole episode. Now it's time to take action. Commit to one thing you've learned today and make it happen. And to avoid any obstructions, join the Sport is Life movement by clicking on the link in the show notes.